Today, Lord Nash, the Under-Secretary of State for Schools, makes his visit to Wymondham College.
Oh, absolutely. Right, I introduce my colleagues. Principal. Evan is Deputy Head Boy.
What's your immediate impression of the school?
I'm very impressed. I think the facilities look excellent. I like the idea that when you're in the sixth form you get your own ensuite. I don't know if everybody gets that, but that sounds tremendous.
Well, my name's John Nash. We're in Norfolk because we've been trying to drum up support for some of the failing schools. You're all very lucky you go to an excellent school. And under this government we have a programme called the Academy Programme, and anybody's really able to get involved in helping schools if we think they can contribute something. It's quite a sort of innovative idea.
So I understand you went to boarding school yourself, so do you think it's a beneficial experience?
I think it is. I think I had a rather odd experience, and I was a day boy, and then at 13 I went to a school. My mother died and I went to a school. I wasn't expecting to go to a boarding school, but I was sent away to a boarding school where most of the kids had been to boarding school before, in fact virtually all of them, so it was quite a bit of a deep end approach, but once I got used to it, it was great fun.
I thought that coming here to a boarding school would probably be the best way for me to maximise the education. It's also different from private schools, which I didn't really want to go to, so I thought this would be a good opportunity.
My parents were rewarded by this as a school, gave me the chance to have like a proper English education.
I was born in Bahrain, so I remember it. And well, where do you said you lived in the middle of nowhere too?
It's about 50 miles from anywhere anyone has ever heard of it.
I used to live in Madrid, went to school there, but the sixth form wasn't so big, and I wanted to also experience the boarding.
Well, this school is slightly different from other boarding schools, as it's a state boarding school.
Yeah.
So could you explain the government's policy to do with state boarding schools, and do you think there should be more of them?
Well, we think state boarding schools are excellent, but they are, as it were, a bit of a hybrid, because obviously the government pays for the education element and the parents pay for the boarding element, except for some students where maybe the local authority fund them. We'd like to see state boarding schools attracting more pupils whose parents can't afford to pay. We'd like to see a sort of wider access to them, and able to offer more bursaryship for students to come.
I came in mainly for the structure of the boarding life, and my dad travels for his job and my mum's a nurse, so she works really bad hours.
The reason why I board is because I live in London. I just come here for peace and quiet away from the distractions of London.
I think it's going to help with preparation for university, being away from home.
Yeah, just sort of for the academic environment and the extra support from the teaching staff that you get when you board. Like in the evenings, they're about to help you prep and to help you with your work and to give you advice on any other questions you might have, even around the subject.
I remember just doing prep on my own with no help.
So obviously, children from less privileged backgrounds coming to schools like this is quite an important thing. So you think this is, for this government, is a key aim?
Yes, I mean, in my own school that I sponsor, Pimlico Academy, we probably have about 40 students at any one time who would benefit, frankly, from not going home in the evenings because they have such difficult home lives. And so for them, and one of the things we've been thinking about in time is to have our own boarding facility, probably not on the site because it's in quite an expensive area of London, but somewhere cheaper where we can accommodate them. So yeah, I do.
I was very keen to come and see Wymondham because I met your principal, who I was very impressed with, and I'd never visited a school like this before. So it's very eye-opening. What else would you say, apart from the work, the opportunity to work more hours and in a more structured way, what else would you say were the sort of good things about this school?
Outside of the classroom, you can have do artists and A level, but you can also do clubs and music. We have an orchestra, we have a jazz band, and then sport. We have teams for every sport, and then even specialist sports which you may not do in school or in curriculum time. Students can come here, they can get coached and they can get facilities, and we can use all of those things.
During the winter term, you have the rugby post for any kicking practice after school, and throughout the year the weights room's open, so that helps to build up on sort of your strength for the next season for rugby. But everything else, such as swimming pools, to fitness, and also the drama rooms, which are really good.
All the students I've spoken to seem to really enjoy it, and they really appreciate the benefits they get from what sounds like a more structured education than what some of them have been used to before, with the prep time and then the extra sporting facilities and all the clubs. So it's very impressive.
Thank you for showing me around.
Well, it was good to see Lord Nash here today because he is the Minister who's in charge of state boarding schools, and this was a good opportunity to show him what a state boarding school, a very good state boarding school, looks like. And I was very pleased that he was receptive to the messages that we were giving him about the need to support state boarding schools and make sure that they can continue to flourish in the future.
So during his day here, Lord Nash has visited Fry, a main school boarding house. He spoke to some sixth form students, and then he's gone to meet with the senior staff.
I think Lord Nash was very receptive to what we had to say. He was clearly very impressed by the students who showed him round and who interviewed him. So I think certainly the messages have gone home with him in the car to London, and I hope they will have impact on government policy making in the future.